to go before all of you graduate to your new grade levels? Yeah, especially this group is going into high school. How do you feel about that? Nervous? Okay. Anxious? Study hours, you're looking forward to a study hours. Okay, by the way, they're called study hours, not free hours, okay? Okay, so we have quite a few things to share. We'll start with, come on over, with the visual art students from IB1. They've just returned from a trip. They visited the Kochi Biennale, so would you like to share a little bit? We have Naisha, Radhika, and Tanvi.
So we went to the Kochi Biennale last Wednesday. So the curator of the Kochi Biennale was Shabiki Rao. She's a Singaporean curator with Indian descent. And the theme for this year's Kochi Biennale was In Our Inks Flow Ink and Fire. So it had art made by like several countless people who all have different backgrounds, and they all have like different ideas. It was just so inspiring to see so many people like come together and show their art, and there was a lot of controversy in these ideas. Like when you look at it, one artwork is saying something else, the other artwork is saying something different. So it's very empowering to look at something. Like you feel really small when you just stand in that room, and there are these big installations and like writing on walls. It's very like it makes you feel so small. So I found it like really inspiring.
I found the Kochi experience very inspiring, and it gave me a lot of ideas for my artworks as well. Since all of us have to create our process portfolios and IAs during DP2, we gained a lot of new ideas through these artworks. We saw all these artists portraying their feelings and emotions about culture, identity, and a lot of their personal emotion as well, what they went through during their childhood and what they want to pursue further. It was a very interesting experience, and I also learned about how I can place my artworks during my personal exhibition for my IA. I learned about space, lighting, and a lot more.
So I think the main point of this entire trip was to explore these various artists and their artworks, and mainly to get that motivation to kind of do art back. Because I think taking VA as a subject, even if you wanted to do art as a hobby, not mainly a career, it's kind of draining at some points of time. So I think this trip was like to help me kind of get that spark back, kind of make me motivated to do my IA. And another thing is how to kind of place my exhibition in DP2, like Radhika said, like the lighting, negative space, and sound, and all these textural backgrounds and stuff like that. So I think it really helped. So we might be a step higher than we thought before the trip. So,
Was this your first time?
yes.
First time at the Kochi Biennale? You've been there before, and did you find this time around it was a little different?
It was the same to me because it was different considering the artworks, but even last time, like when I went in 2018, the art was the same, looking at the diversity and like the kind of things that people think about. It was like the same because like creativity never dies, right? It only grows. So it was the same that way.
Share something, Tan?
Yeah, I think like 2018 versus 2023, the perspective that you have is completely changed, considering everything that's happened in the world. Now, I feel like when I was looking at the artist, I keep looking at the date. Is it post-COVID or like pre-COVID? So it really makes you think of what the artist was thinking about, what they wanted to convey through their artworks, because most of them were based on the deaths that happened during COVID. So I think that's a very big factor about the artworks.
So, how long have you kids been doing art?
I personally started doing art at a very young age, but I never knew that it will become a very important part of me. I really started delving deeper into the subject when I reached grade 9 because I knew that I actually want to pursue art in the future. But it just changed my perspective about art and the subject itself when I was working with realistic mediums and something that actually matters instead of doing freehand like normal sketches.
Awesome. I'm assuming both of you also started art very early.
Yeah, very early.
How many of you here are planning to take visual arts? At least a few of you, I'm assuming. Awesome. Fantastic. You should talk to them at some point and get inspired. Thank you. Thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Tanvi. Thank you, Naisha. Okay, the Football League. Come on over. We have Madhav Gulwadi, Promit, Radesh, and Jarrett here to talk a little bit about the Football League that they had organized. Are you all organizers?
Yeah.
So, how did this idea come about?
Yeah, as most of you know, we had KCBL, KC Basketball League last year, and that was pretty much a success. But initially, we wanted to do a season 2 of that, but we realized that football was equally prominent in high school, so we thought we could do something different and do KCFL. So we took inspiration from Premier League and basically made the league. So for the making of
So,
the
that means that you had auction and all of that?
yeah, so for
tell
that
us
we
a little
copied
bit
IPL.
about that.
So for choosing the teams, we made 5 fair captains, and we gave them a particular amount of money, KC currency, and they would basically get to buy the players that volunteered to play in the league.
Okay, and what was the purse amount? How much did they have?
I think 500.
500. 500 KC
KC
rupees. Okay, all right. And how did you invite players to be part of this?
We sent a Google form and gave them like about a week's time to enroll. And we also gave them the option of being a captain. And
Okay.
but towards the end, we just chose who would be fair captains.
the very good ones. So how do you know ones who are already part of? So were there mixed groups or only boys?
The boys registered.
Only the boys registered. Okay, all right. So yeah, Promit.
So
He gave you the mic, so I thought you might want to say something. So how many matches were there in all, and when did you have it?
20 matches, then one knockout match, and then finals.
And
It was a league.
was it a
league.
fitting final? No. Why? Why?
So yeah, so during the league we had the last game of the league, there were two teams that were playing. The teams were Bakri and okay, never mind. Yeah, BHFC.
Okay.
So there was another team called Butter Chicken Rajas who was also in the league. And in order for them to get through, the two teams that played had to like draw that game, and that game we drew. So what's it called? BCR or Butter Chicken Rajas went in. So that game was the craziest game. So we had like so many people watching. There were. And after every goal, like say our team scored one goal, the other team scored another goal. So yeah, that game was crazy. And like I want to thank everyone who came to watch the league. The support was crazy. Thank you, everyone. We didn't expect this because
So what roles did you have as organizers? I saw some kids walking around with a camera, taking pictures. I'm sure some of you were documenting some of it. So what different roles did you have as organizers?
Yeah, so Radesh was mostly organizing this. Me, Promit, and Radesh would be part of documentation as well. And I would edit the clips after the match. And Madha would ref sometimes as well as be a part of the organizing.
So a lot of work, right? So if you were to change one thing for the next time, I'm assuming this will continue for years to come. If you were to change one thing, what would it be?
yeah, so take backs in this season. First of all, we got a lot of complaints from teachers saying that their students were coming late. So we got a few mails sent around, and for the final as well, we had to do a little bit of negotiating, and we finally got it through. So next time we hope to start on time, and hope the players are all punctual, and yeah, we want to continue this to like our next year, and hopefully after we leave, we can get someone else to run it for us. And again, like the IB2 said, wherever we go, we'll always be part of the KCFL.
Awesome, fabulous. Please give them a big hand. I want you to stay on for another few minutes because we'll quickly talk about the KC quiz that happened. I think all four of you were part of that as well. Ollie and Matthew, sir. So we had the KC family quiz on Friday. We had in all about 7 teams. There were about 6 to 7 members in each team. Radha auntie was also there. Do you want to come over, Radha? Ruth auntie as well. She was also... So Ruth auntie, Radha auntie, and Matthew sir were all part of the same team, which was team number 3. And you guys were all part of the same team? 5 and 7, and we were in 4. So, Matthew, tell us.
Well, first of all, I think that I would encourage a lot of the kids from the other grades to participate because we had 2 tables with 11th graders and they did very well. That means there is no reason why the other kids from middle school as well as primary, there were kids from middle school and primary there too, but not as many as the 11th graders. So please do come out. It's fun. We also had a blast
Yeah,
to
Urmi
see
auntie.
some of the
Urmi
kids
was
do
also
very
there
well.
as part
okay?
of our team. So, was this the first time you were part of a quiz team? And
Yeah.
did you get some answers right? Were some tricky? What did you feel about the questions?
I mean, we did well as a team to answer the questions. Some of them were difficult, but I think we could have done better. Like at times we got the answer right, but we weren't sure if it was right or not, so we didn't go to the judge and tell our answer.
I still feel some of the questions were a little unfair for the 11th graders to answer because most of the questions were like stuff that the older generation would sort of know.
really?
I don't know how to place it, but like, yeah, like if they asked us stuff about like rappers and Lil Pump or something, I would have answered it. But like, I don't know.
But
what's
that would have
going
been
on.
unfair to the older generation.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say next time we could come
So, what
for.
kind of questions were you able to answer?
I answered nothing in my team. I was just like irritating everyone else in my team, trying to get the answer out of them.
Okay. Ollie? So, Ollie was in team 4 and he
So,
answered many questions, right?
Actually, I got really lucky that way. So it was a great experience. We all we were called the checkmates because we had Hari sir in our team, and we all showed up in check shirts, which was great. And I had to wear a formal shirt, which I was very uncomfortable with also. So that's there. And it was good fun. It was great. The quiz master was excellent. He made it fair. And in the end, the best thing we can ask for teachers is coming second to our students. So that's awesome.
We didn't come second.
We came second.
No, they got some 30 points or something else. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
We got 90.
But well done, well done. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So before we wrap up the assembly for this morning, we have a Sunny uncle with a few important messages.
Hi, good morning. You've had lots of happy news this morning, so I'm the harbinger of not so very happy news. Yeah, but it's all about your health. It's good to be healthy, so you can, oh yes, so that you can continue to have your quiz shows and your football games. So I'm sure you all know that there's a lot of viruses in the air. Some of your classmates may be at home, and I'm sure you must be missing them. So it's not a good time of the year right now. COVID was okay for children, but these viruses are not doing you any good. I know hospitals which are full because the beds are full because children are trying to recover, and some are even battling for their lives. So that's what I meant by being the harbinger of not so good news. So recognize symptoms, all right? Some of the symptoms you'd have would be a headache, a body ache, sometimes even as bad as breathlessness, diarrhea, you name it, and the symptom would pop up because we don't know where these viruses are coming from. None of the doctors are aware as well. So when you recognize these symptoms, and if you experience any of these symptoms, please stay home, all right? Do not come to school and spread your cheer, because we definitely don't want that in school, all right? Stay home. It takes about 4 or 5 days. I don't think you can medicate yourself for a virus, but you can medicate yourself for the symptoms. So take care of your symptoms, and then you can come back to school. I'm sure the teachers will agree with me that absenteeism from school is acceptable at this time of the year. And also the weather is not helping. We're having hot sunshine days and sporadic rain, which is not doing us any good at all. All right? Now is also a good time to practice personal hygiene. Keep yourselves clean, especially your hands. We have lots of soap and water on campus while you're here. Try not to touch things that don't pertain to your work. That's one way to keep your hands clean, besides washing it. All right? So stay healthy and stay hydrated. Now's a good time to also drink a lot of water. Take regular water breaks. There's lots of bottles there which are in the lost and found counter. So if it's yours, pick it up, have it cleaned, and fill it with water and use it. All right? Have a good week. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. So it's a short week. So enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the week. See you, everybody. Grade 8, you want to exit first?